landfall, and it killed more than 7,000 people. Well, for more on just how prepared the Philippines are for Typhoon Hagupit, we're joined now by Chris Weeks, spokesman for the charity World Vision UK. Sir, thank you so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. Now, you have yourself recently come back from the Philippines, and obviously your colleagues from World Vision UK are there now. What is your charity and charities like you doing to prepare the people for the typhoon?
Well, we've got 500 staff in the Philippines, and the first thing we do is warn people about the onset of a typhoon. As we did, I was sat in this chair 12 months ago talking about the onset of Typhoon Haiyan. So we warned people to take shelter. We know already that 19,000 people from down the coastline in the central part of the Philippines have already taken shelter. It's now, approaching 5:30 in the morning. I think they'll have had a pretty sleepless night. So the next thing is, this is the day it happens. This is the day that the typhoon comes. And we have pre-positioned emergency food rations, emergency packs, including tarpaulins, solar lamps, all the things that we know people will need in the worst-case scenarios. We've got them in secure warehouses, and we're ready to distribute those should the need come.
Psychologically, it must be devastating for anyone on the path of a typhoon, but for people that have been through the tragedy that was Haiyan, 12 months ago now?
It's absolutely the case. I was there immediately afterwards, and the city of Tacloban itself, where, as you said in your introduction, we don't know the exact trajectory of the typhoon, but it could hit Tacloban pretty hard. It's only just below super typhoon status. So, yeah, there are real concerns about that. But, yeah, it's the emotional impact. It started raining this evening. My colleagues over there were telling me that the first rains were coming. And it invokes a sense of panic. People went through the whole thing last year. I walked through a street just after the typhoon last year where every single house along that street, people had lost members of their family. There wasn't a single place. There were mass graves everywhere. This is bringing back strong memories of what happened a year ago, even if it's not going to be quite as serious.
Yeah, well, that's the hope, certainly. Presumably, these typhoons, there's no way of stopping them, obviously. But is there anything that could be done to make these people's situation better or safer in the long term?
Well, a lot of it's a whole range of issues. You've got to attack it from several angles. So the first is about where people live. And we saw immediately after Typhoon Haiyan, people are used to a fishing village. There are fishermen, and they live right on the coast. And it's the worst place you can be. Relocating, of course, is a controversial issue, but that often needs to be done. And it's also just warning people that it's going to happen and having a clear set of evacuation procedures so that people can get to the shelters in time, and that they take those warnings seriously. That's the crucial thing. In Haiyan,
and have you found that they have now, after Haiyan?
Indeed, they have. There's the Astrodome that many people would have seen on the news last year, where people sheltered 8,000 people. That's got capacity for. And my staff was saying they saw 1,200 people just this evening sheltering in a gym, which was designated as a safe place. So, yes, people are heeding those warnings.
Chris Weeks, spokesman for World Vision UK. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. With lots more to come in this news hour, including Italian police bust open a corruption